I love websites, truly. I believe that when you build a site or have someone help you build a site that defines your brand vibe and everything else that you want to encompass within your business, all the things you want, all of the sales you want to come in, those all fall into place. Websites for me is such a backbone and confidence builder for an entrepreneur. But site design and the information that's out there about websites are problematic, or at least it can be, especially when you're thinking about your goals as a business and defining how you want your brand to stand out from the next brand that's out there. This is your dynamic download on the biggest mistakes you may be making on your websites. Of all the places, your website is your storefront. So do not make it hard for your website visitors to take action to the next step. This is the number one thing. If you make it hard to take action, you are making a big mistake. Truly, there is nothing worse than when a potential client has to scroll and scroll in hopes of making a purchase. More action buttons than you think is necessary. That's my rule of thumb. I even encourage 2 CTAs, aka 2 places to take action above the scroll on your homepage. This usually means like being able to have 2 action buttons before I even think about looking at the rest of the page. So make sure we can take action. Not being able to take action is essentially just not taking into account user experience. And I think this is something that sometimes designers miss out on. This is what I have been spending a lot of my time studying. I want to know how we interact with websites. I love human behavior. That's what I'm here for. That's what gets me going. But knowing that if we can really understand how we interact with the website, how colors and flow can affect us as purchasers, this is really important. So the second mistake is prioritizing design over function. You want to be user-friendly. You are a business site, so act like it. Unfortunately, website designers can sometimes obsess over the art of the site over what you hope people do. I would actually take on the role whenever I was working with larger brands and they were redesigning their website. I would talk to design agencies and be like, yeah, that's really a cool piece of art. What are they going to do with it? What is it supposed to help, or what kind of attention is it getting to get people to go where we want them to go? Unfortunately, they miss it. So for your rule of thumb, your browser should, any browsers on your site should be able to make a purchase or send an inquiry in 2 clicks or less. Next one here, colors in your fonts. This one is short and simple. If you want things to be legible, you must use black font on the majority of your site. Yes, headlines, highlights, those get to be your brand colors and you can really highlight them, right? Even too, you can get funky with color within your design. But if you want us to actually read the copy on your site, make sure the majority of the writing is on the darker end of the grayscale. There's a reason why every book, every site, every magazine chooses a black font for their majority of their writing. We can read best when there is high contrast. And it's a color that we recognize. So use black. We ignore it when we don't. Behaviorally, as humans, if it's hard to read, we won't read it. So make sure that you choose your colors wisely. Your navigation bar is also a really great place that people can sometimes make mistakes. You want to use it to advertise your products and services. So instead of saying my services, give us a teaser of what we're going to find. So branded programs and products have more curb appeal. Essentially, if I drop on a site and one of your programs or products is like something I was like, ooh, I'd love to know what more about it, you are using your navigation bar perfectly. So VIP coaching or your customized perfume scent, something that's a little bit long, but the idea is how can you use in your navigation some curb appeal to your products? In general, studies also do show that it has a better click-through rate. 5, your length of your pages. So gone are the days where we could just have a landing page where we didn't have to scroll. I still remember building websites when I was in high school, and that was the design. You didn't want them to scroll at all. Now we are a different type of internet user. On average, you want your site to have at least 3 scrolls, aka I'm scrolling on my mouse at least 3 times. This allows you to be able to create more potential invitations within each of your pages. So let your pages be longer to mimic how we use social media. We are trained because social has us scrolling and scrolling so we can see new things, which means you have numerous opportunities to engage your potential client. This last one's going to get me in trouble, but it's an essential piece. Your brand voice is always going to trump copywriting. I have copywriter friends as I say this, but your brand voice absolutely is going to trump just copywriting. The words, the energy, the understanding of what you do for your customers must be represented on your website. Website copy is much more than your ideal client research. And it's also differentiating how you help them in the way that you would describe it. You're giving a teaser of what they're going to experience if they decide to jump in and use your product or buy your service. The way you write on your site allows them to know if you are for them or not. So if you are working with a copywriter, make sure your voice or your brand essence is an important part of the process. But I'm going to tell you that I know that you could probably do this best, especially if you're an early entrepreneur. This is the type of thing that's going to allow you to hone who you are. So I've helped build over 30 highly converting websites at this point. I've helped build over 30 highly converting websites at this point, with my focus being on user experience and conversion with the support of brand messaging. I get so frustrated when I see these amazing businesses who end up having really cookie cutter websites that I could see so many other places. So I built something for you. I have a solution. My self-paced website building program, Wealth Portal, is my love note to those ready to feel confident in their website and are ready to use a data-backed approach to getting clients clicking. Complete with brand and sales messaging workbooks and converting site structures for your homepage, your about page, your sales pages, and your blog posts. Yes, I put a lot of love into this. You will be set for a site that works for you. So check in the show notes to get in on this program. Like I said, it's truly a love note from all of my years building sites.